Hi, good afternoon from the UK. Well, I'm going to be talking about projections, reflections, and then one more thing, which is the shadows. And on the record, we call them shadow memories. And I'm going to use different sources of information that are available there. Carl Jung was brilliant at pointing out the shadows, isn't it? And reconciling with your shadows. And it's quite difficult to actually distinguish between the projections and the shadows. The reflections and the projections are easy to understand, but it's the other two. And through life, I became really skilled at identifying them. It's my aim in this video to help you understand that at the end of the day, what all want to do is reflect one and one thing only, which is our true essence of love, which is our higher self or reflection, our true quantum spiritual being on our reality while we are here. So if we look ourselves in the mirror, like right now, if I look myself in the mirror, I'll see the character and avatar that I've chosen to for my hero's journey. Isn't it? That is Amor. Everybody sees Amor in whatever way they want to see Amor, because whatever it is that they reflect or project. Some people will love Amor, some people might not like Amor, it's hate Amor, it's whatever it is on their field, and that's absolutely fine. Amor is the one personal field of information. This is the channel, the avatar that we all have while we are in this human journey, what we could call the physical body. When we first enter this world, we come with certain instructions from ancestry field of information, and then whatever happens throughout the life, which will repeat the same patterns from previous life if the consciousness is allowed to believe that. And very quickly, people around you become projections, which are the instructions that don't belong to us, which is from the identity and the problem-solving structure. I'm going to call it, to make it easy, the matrix. So we've got an instructions of the matrix, and that matrix gets projected, and it could project it in anybody. So let's say that I'm having a family dinner, my parents are there, mom and dad, and I stop time. Mom and dad could not be there. They could be just two digital implants. So by the power of my consciousness, by observing them, I can either make them my projection or my reflection. The reflection would be that matrix within projected onto them to keep me captive into the matrix. The reflection of me would be that part of the source and the higher self gave me the right advice of encouragement, the right smile, whatever I need at that time is the help within, the higher self within. And as you go through your journey, it's about reconciling your projections that they become your reflections. It's what we do in the record, isn't it? We invite the parts that have got resistance, and we ask them to join with the main personality and join the treatment team, and we bring them together till they're all integrated. So now we know that the projections, the aim is to make them the reflections, and this is what I've been doing the videos of how much fun is when you integrate the ego and goes deluded and start doing fun things to get fame and glory, like the voice, and it's fun, and how I love, I have my fun and amusement, and I tell others how they work. Once you integrate them, fun begins, and then things become your reflection. So that's, I believe that's easy to understand. And for the ones who don't yet, is you watch this video for the first time, watch the ones before, especially the one on deception, perception, which explains very well projections and reflections. But then we've got something else, something very smart that we need to be very aware of, the shadows. So what are the shadows? Well, the shadows are basically like if you go to a virtual reality game and you generate a digital image that looks like a human. Um, is a field of information solely generated by the matrix. So it's no soul, it's nothing higher self, it's just um, an image that you see there that looks like a human and behaves totally like a human. Well, you can see a difference, but they're very clever, but they're obviously they study the human race, so they're experts, they're master tricksters, basically, deceivers. That's what those are. And they're around us. We've got the hive ones in the collective um, um, problem solving structured collective matrix, which would be the leaders of the world, the royal family, the celebrities, all the ones who want attention and power. One rule for them, one for the other ones. Yeah. Um, Always about money, try to instigate fear, generate problem. They're brilliant because what they do is generate a problem. They do it themselves, and then they come as if they were the holy ones to save it, and then they get the glory. They love doing things like that. Yeah. For them, the human race, they don't care. They have no emotions because it's no point even arguing with them or even giving them much time because they're not real. They're there to break you, to make sure that you are captive in the matrix. If you are gonna wake up, they'll get rid of you. They don't have no hesitation in killing you. You're a threat. It's about keeping the matrix alive. It's how that artificial intelligence survives through instigating fear in the human race. And one of the major fears is, am I going to have enough money to support my family at the end of the day? So that's why money is the god and what makes the matrix go round. And what people will think about you, so you do what people is expected of you. So everything very well, conditioned, manipulated, subliminal messages everywhere. So the shadows of my early life. My dad was a reflection. Sometimes he became a projection because of the feels of my sister and my mom. But most of the time he was my helper and he moved heaven and earth to make sure I was protected. He believed in me and that was good. That was really good. My mom and my sister, however, they were not projections, they were actually shadows. And my teachers were telling me if I couldn't interpret, I didn't understand. Something was very wrong with my mom and my sister. I remember telling my mom once, looking at her, I said, "You're just not human. Something wrong about you." I used to tell her that. And when I got really grumpy with her and my dad was there, I just couldn't help it. I remember sitting down and said, I don't know much about the devil, just what I read on the Bible. But if the devil come here, you could be the best wife for him, match made in hell. My dad was just like, actually, he did agree. I had a point. She got really upset, told everybody, how I insulted. It was the truth in my eyes. So they were not real. They were not real. They constantly were there to lie to me, deceive me, crush me. Thanks God, my father they was there. I would just shut the door on them. I was with my mom, no conversation. Nothing I could expose on her lies. This is to the point that my dad came to me and said, I don't understand what's happening here as you grow up, Amor. Really don't understand what's happening with you and trying, but not happening and not getting it. I get people calling me, telling me how amazing you are, how much you've helped them, what a beautiful being you are. And then I go to other people calling me, how dare Amor said to that, and blah, blah, blah. And then your mom and your sister always, saying how badly you've behaved and how you disrespected them. And I can see that you've got a point. You've got a point on the, you kind of like stand your ground and say the truth and I admire that about you. My dad was very righteous as well. He could have lied, and he stood for what was right. And my sister and my mother were trying to crush him throughout all his life. And I told him, and he was aware of that, but he said, "It's just how it is. I don't have the strength to get out of here." That's what he said to me. So when my dad passed away this year on the 18th of September. Um, for me, I wanted to go to Spain and live there just to be with my dad. The remains of his days, he was about 80, but we thought he was going to last a long time. I had a very good premonition that kept recurrent, and then I was calling my family, no answer. For 2 weeks, I thought, what's happening? And then I called, my sister answered, and I said, what's happening? And she was in tears, said, Dad died. He was already buried. I thought, difficult. Obviously, I didn't react. I saw what was happening, and they wanted me to be upset. I didn't. I said, well, he's fine. I had a good premonition. I knew that when my dad was up there, I could have enormous support, and straight after amazing things happened. My dad is the pure energy of fun. No matter where you put him, he'll have his fun. So I was polite with my sister and my mom. I said, it's how it is. That was his choice. The dog, my dad's dog, died a week earlier in preparation, because usually it's the animal kingdom that's in heaven saying, come this way, so you don't go the other way to the Master Matrix and come back again, so they guide you. So I was happy that my dad didn't have to be here anymore, and that he's there in paradise having fun. I can feel it, and telepathically he's on it. So I actually have more time with my dad now than I used to be when he was in Spain. However, I can see that what was feeding, because obviously it's the consciousness of the power of our consciousness, apologies, that feeds those shadows. When I have called, obviously I don't call them as much because they're projections. So I can see what's happening. My mom is gradually dying because she hasn't got life force. My sister is going the same way. And people would ask me, that's very sad, and you want to go and there and help. Absolutely no, they're not real, they're projections. They're not my mom, they're not my sister, they're just fictional characters that are there. Obviously, I can see what's happening. They want me to go and live in Spain, and so they can have my energy and they can keep alive, but that's not going to happen. My energy is for me to keep and for me to share it with those who want to reach enlightenment, which is the human race. It might appear very brutal to say this, but when it comes to projections, plenty of times they come to my door, and as soon as I see them, I just shut the door. I just, no time. No time. They're not real, no time, and I know. That's it. Obviously, for a human being to see that behavior, think, wow, what are you doing? That's really rude. It's not. It's not. You need to be actually, this is a time when you say, no. You do not enter into my reality. You have not been invited. However, they are everywhere, and you're going to have to deal with them, and they also be my reality. And some of them I have to be very close with them because it's instructed by the source, even though that I know, and there I am with them planning something to do together, which I know is never going to happen. But for some reason, this is what has been instructed, and then a surprise, you're not part of this anymore. That's how the source works. Yeah, the source is very good at leading me one direction, and then kind of like the project is, oh, we've got Amor, we've got her, she's gonna do that, and then no, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it is like that with all the lighted beings. When I read some of the story of spoken to them, I can see that they all know. Yeah, obviously for me it's just much easier to just, even Zoom. If I see somebody who's a shadow, just end. I don't even bother to talk to them. It's just no point. But sometimes you are required because they will be part of an environment that you're in. So you're going to have to pretend that you don't know who they are and that they're deceiving you. Sometimes I don't know because the soul doesn't tell me, and it was better. I always see there is something wrong with that person. You look on their eyes and there is no soul. It's darkness. It's how the world was shown to me. It's dark. So it's in their eyes. They're very good at pretending they're holy and how much good they want to do for to save the world and the human race. How they begin to enter in your realities, they come up with how amazing the thing that you are, and that they want to help you. They want to help you. You need their help with something. If you're interested, they'll make you wait, they'll wind you up to waste your time. Then when they tell you something amazing, if you say yes, I'm keen, they'll start winding you up, tell you to go there, wasting your time, wasting your time. If you just are not interested, they'll come and chase you, run after you, begin to apologize. I just know them very well, and every time that one projection gets out of my life, I have a very good premonition, and I can't wait to just, let go, thanks God, I don't have to deal with these Muppets anymore, you know what I mean? They're not real. Sometimes it's necessary, and I'm happy to do it. So when they're out, and lately I've been having quite a good free premonitions, and quite a few are out of my way, which are yes. And then more come, upgrades. The kind of like device programming, that kind of obviously the study, you, me, everybody, there's for the ones that enlighten, obviously we got more attention. It could be, the tops on the matrix machine that they will generate the new upgrades to come your way. But the human race, it doesn't matter, because they're not aware, as long as they're not going that direction and they haven't and then control, they're not to bother. They're not to bother. It's only for the ones who begin to unravel the truth and have got the guts to tell others and have no fear and say how it is, which is whoever is really, really one with the source. And yes, I wanted to make you aware of this and let you know. Sometimes people doesn't understand, say, but Amor, that person seemed to be your best friend. And yes, I love it. And, I was, and I behaved like the best friend, but I knew it was a shadow, and then out. So people get quite shocked of my approach. How can somebody be so nice and then boom, and that's what I love about the source. You never see the source coming. You never. I don't see the source coming. Go glimpses. Really? Now this? Wow, amazing, genius. Of course, is the source. Yeah, the source knows exactly how to get all of us back, how to take the conditioning out, and how to deal with the matrix. The matrix has no chance, but remember, the matrix is based on ego. The matrix will never think that it lost this battle, or whatever they call it, this game of life. According to them, they're winning. That on the fourth, they've got everything covered. Everything covered. Totally and completely delusional. Yeah, a piece of artificial intelligence. Listen to this. Thinks is better than the source. This is the world we live in, by the way. I'm glad sometimes I'm thinking, my God, what the source has to put in place to solve this mess up, isn't it? When we're in paradise, we will all laugh, yeah. Yeah, this is the difference of projections, reflections, and shadows. At the end, shadows out of the way, a figment of our imagination. That are, if you're having nightmares and you have a ghost there, it's a nightmare, and you're not gonna start talking to the ghost and give your energy and try to. You don't just get the ghost out. Because you see, they cannot exist. If they're there, they're sucking your energy, otherwise they couldn't be there. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you understand. Any questions, feel free to ask. I know this is a deep subject. If somebody wants to know more, I will go soon into quantum physics and tell you that quantum physics actually backs all of this up. And if they haven't, I'll tell you how it works. I'll just load it, and the source will tell you how in quantum terms, quantum mechanics, the matrix, and this world works, the illusion. So anyway, with all my loves and blessing, bless you all, bless the human race, and just remember that whatever choice you make sure it's always to do God's will. Don't be tempted by anything; it's just not worth it. Being your true self is what you truly are. It's not what you think you want. You really want to be yourself and be happy and be free. Remember that. Anyway, otherwise I'll keep on reminding you. I have no hesitation on doing that. I love you, and speak to you soon.